Hola, and welcome to Chats con Sabor. I'm here with my co-host Yvette and our special guest, my love Kevin.
Hello.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Oh my God.
Oh, this is gonna be so entertaining.
We're gonna try to get through this one as best we can.
I'm just here. I'm just sitting here.
Thank you for joining us, Kevin. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud. Salud. And cheers to everybody joining us today. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about today, Miss Joanna? All right.
I wasn't prepared for that one.
I'll say. Today we are talking about marriage and long-term relationships. So we thought it would be great to have Kevin on as a guest with us today because they've been in long-term relationships. We thought perfect to have you here as a guest. So welcome.
Long term. Long term.
All right, we're going to jump right in. And for those of you who don't know who Kevin is, he actually was on 2 of our episodes for season 1. So go back and have a listen on Spotify or YouTube. And you will hear his, because that was audio only,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You'll hear his...
They'll appreciate this one more because they see the beard. It'll mean more, I'm telling you.
It's going to mean more. Yeah.
You're like, that dude's got some wisdom.
There's no
right.
white in your beard yet, though.
When I start
there's
doing this, it's thinking time, okay? So I'm pondering something.
So we're going to ask him some good questions so we could get him to think, and then, with the beard.
That's right. Get the thinking tank stroking.
Okay. Let's jump into our first little subtopic and question that I have for both of you.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, we're going to make this a light, fun conversation, but actually these are deep topics. So, it is what it is. We're just going to give it to you. What creates a good marriage or relationship?
You're a special guest. You go first.
Looking at me. What creates a good relationship?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know shit about a good marriage. I've never been in one.
Never been in a marriage or never been in a
I've been
good
in a marriage. I ain't never been in a good one.
Not in a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What makes a good relationship?
You have a good relationship now, long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So what do you feel contributes to it working between both you and Joe?
Being moldable.
Being moldable. Okay.
Yeah.
So molding too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it gets, the perception of that gets stretched, if you will. Mm-hmm. You know how they say, happy wife, happy life?
Yeah.
Well, that's the truth, but I think it's taken in a negative concept. In my mind, she wants me to be better, do better, be a better person. And whenever I am that better person, it makes her happy. So it leads to a better relationship.
Yeah. Joe, do you agree with that? Lord of mercy.
It helps if you're cute.
And funny.
You gotta
That's
have a good beard, good sense of humor.
Yeah, I think that the understanding of your partner and where they're at in life and the things that they understand, don't understand, talking through things, I think that's very, and being receptive to getting advice, and not taking it as you're trying to change a person, but you're trying to make them better, like he said, Same for when he has an opinion about something I did, or he's like, babe, it's going to be okay, things will get better. And so I think the communication is key. I think that's our favorite line on this podcast is communication. So
Definitely my favorite.
and a lot of people get so offended when their partner or their spouse says something to them. Oh, did you think about it this way? Or, hey, maybe next time you should think of this or whatever. And they get so wrapped up in the change thing. You're trying to change me. Well, look how you've been doing things in the past. I mean, do you think if you tried it this way, it might be a little better? It's not like you're saying you can't be that person, you know?
Or you can be yourself.
Yeah. It's just you're pouring into them as they're pouring into you.
Here's the man side of that.
This is why we have you here today.
There's been times where I've come home and you've had a notebook with bullet points. Right? And I'm like, oh, shit.
Sit your ass down.
Like, you mess up enough to have bullet points, you're messing up. Okay? So, as a guy, you have this already built-in mentality of this fucking way I am. You know, damn me if you do, damn me if you don't. There's always more. There's more fish in the sea, right? But as a guy, we've done like, especially like me, right? No family, no nothing. I grew up with this mentality of like, I've survived this long without you. I got this. But the thought that men need to break through, right, is they're not doing it to change you. They're doing it because they see potential.
Yeah.
And there's better things and ways, and that's what I had to overcome.
So what you're saying, though, is that for the men out there who are struggling in these long-term relationships or in their marriages, then they have to be kind of open, like you said, be moldable.
Yeah, I mean, once that flip got switched, it's like she's not trying to control you. She's trying to help you.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference, I think. And not like she's trying to mold me into who she wants me to be. And instead, I'm like, okay, she's just looking out.
Yeah.
Because as men, we all know, like, we're probably, like, our number one most... We're on our
enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our own enemy. And here's this person that sees stuff that you don't see because you're not looking for it. I mean, just since we've been together, my career, my character, my mental health, just about every damn thing has improved.
That's awesome.
So, I think if men were just a little bit more humble and receptive to constructive criticism, as far as in this is a partnership and not a dictatorship.
I took a different route. Instead of attacking, instead of, you know, arguing, instead of, you know, belittling him and all that. I've learned from my past relationships as well that shit just doesn't work. You know, it just becomes toxic. It becomes... One of us has to be healthy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that... It's not me offending, but there's always, when you have a toxic relationship, it's both of you being toxic, you know?
Yeah.
If this is
I don't have a bit of trouble admitting it. I was toxic as it gets.
So when there's one that can lend that grace and know that it's not coming from a malicious bad place, it's because it's something that person is used to, and me not being reactive when there's a situation that occurs, I think that has helped us a lot.
I think it's important to note, though, with what you both said, you being able to not be reactive and not feed into the toxicity. I did the same thing with my ex-husband. With my ex-husband, I came to a point, at first, I was non-confrontational, and then I got confrontational, and then I became non-confrontational again.
Let me ask you, how was he when you were confrontational? Was
He
it
loved
worse
it.
or...
Oh, he was worse, and he loved
You
it.
want me to tell you why? Because as a Marine, it's instilled to you, like, out of one word, you're supposed to react. One action, one sound, one smell, one
Yeah.
boom reaction. And you're supposed to react at the drop of a hat with the most violence, the most intensity, the most passion, emotion that's in you.
I was 1,000% feeding into whatever toxicity.
And that's where
he
we
was
thrive
throwing
at.
out at me. Yeah,
That's
and
where
he
we
was.
thrive
And he
at.
did.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't so much, but he did. And then so when I reverted back to being who I am, who is not, not real confrontational. I will discuss, whatever needs to be discussed, but I'm not a yeller. I mean, shit, I have a hard time actually raising my voice. I can get there. Let's be clear here. I can get there. I can get to a point where I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. And if I'm angry, you've pushed that right button and there's Yvette. I see red like everybody else. But I'm pretty much an even keel person until I'm not, So he knew which buttons to put, and he spent a good chunk of our relationship, at the beginning, figuring out all my buttons. But and he has grown a lot. Like, I'm just gonna throw that out there. He's not the same person, obviously, that we were in our 20s, and that's really where our tumultuous time was our mid to late 20s. And so he has grown a lot as a person. He's not the same person, but obviously we're not together anymore. So maybe it was better for him and it was better for me too. But I love that you said that, though. One of you has to be the non-confrontational person and not feed into that and be a little bit more logical and reserved with your emotions.
You have to at some point, because it's not good for, first of all, like you said, they're looking for that. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for that because a person that has been in something toxic for so long and that's all they've known, it kind of starts being their victim card.
Yeah. Because
they don't see what occurred, what the reactions are from that specific fight. They blame it on you because you're the one that got me this way. So this is all on you.
I get that too. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
You ready, baby?
Oh yeah.
All right, this is gonna be a hot topic, okay?
Oh.
We're gonna talk about staying in a marriage for the kids. Is it good or bad? And how does either situation, either staying or leaving, affect the children? Like I said, spicy and a little heavy. I get it. But I feel like these are good topics. And if you want, I'll go first. I actually stayed a lot longer than I should have in my marriage because of my children. And I thought I was doing a service to them. I thought I was being a good mom by staying and keeping our nuclear family together. I tried and tried and tried, and it just, I'm not going to say we tried and tried and tried. And then at the end of the day, 20-something years later, we were like, okay, this is really not working. We got to go,
These ships have sailed.
Yes. But we maintained the respect for one another, and we were good co-parenting partners. And even to this day, I mean, our children they're grown adults, but we have grandchildren that we share. So we're still very much in communication. I feel like also we built the foundation of a friendship during the time we were dating, and I feel like that has helped us now in the aftermath of our marriage.
The co-parenting aspect of it helped. Yeah.
I will say one more thing. I did notice, though, in my adult children, when I started having deeper conversations with them about the marriage and about the divorce, I didn't help them. I thought I was doing them a service, and I was actually doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
I was doing them a disservice by staying as long as I did, because they could see everything I was going through, even though I was silent about it. It's the tension in the air in the home. But I feel like that's kind of where I went wrong in my parenting. As a mother, I should have maybe left sooner, amicably, but still left the marriage and the situation sooner than when I did. How do you feel?
I kind of lived the same thing too in my marriage. We kept a lot of stuff away from our children. They pretty much grew up thinking that the marriage was perfect because we were so good in keeping everything quiet and away from them. I became so talented in just like pushing everything down. You couldn't even read it on my face anymore. So I think at the end of it, and then truth had to be told, I think that affected them more because their goal was to have a marriage like the one their parents had. And then when they found out the truth, because there was a lot of anger after their father passed away, there was a lot of anger towards me. Mm-hmm. So we had to sit down and have a very heavy conversation about what the facts were. And I think that hurt them worse than them seeing it at home.
Yeah.
So it's similar to yours, but a little opposite because we were better in concealing everything from them.
Yeah.
You know, while I suffered in silence, they had no idea that I was suffering in silence. So, and I feel bad for that because I should have left when I needed to leave, and I knew when to leave. I just wanted to keep our family together.
And I feel like that's an important point to hit on it because as women, and we're going to give you ample time to respond, but I feel like as women, we feel we're doing the right thing by staying, by taking it, by keeping it from the children and just putting on that. We talked about this in one of our other episodes where we put on a happy face and we're just like, yeah, everything's great, you know, and we're happy with the kids. And then we go and cry in the shower and we're just literally having a mental breakdown in the shower because our whole fucking world is falling apart, but we can't let the children know. You know what I mean? So I feel like we take on a lot of that responsibility, but I do want to hear from the male's perspective. First of all, have you been in that type of situation? And secondly, do you feel like you had to hide it as well from the children?
I did the exact opposite.
The opposite, okay. Please tell us.
I was upfront and honest about everything. And I don't know if one is equally as damaging or more damaging than the other, but I think they're equally. I think there's no winning.
There's no winning.
Yeah. It's just things you describe about the way you handled it and the way I handled it, you end up the same. You got a mom and a dad and they're not together and there's drama and it's just, yeah, I did it way, way wrong. Well, I say wrong, but in my head, and my thought process was just to be transparent. This is what's happening, but I feel like I maybe warped the thought process of his mother by doing that because of my feelings, trying to portray like what the situation was, but I'm biased, so I don't know if there's no good way of navigating it.
Well, and we have said that there's no handbook on how to be a parent and how to raise your kids. And there's no handbook to marriage either. So I feel like that as long as you're doing the best you can, then I mean, I guess that's the way to do it. You know what I mean?
It's also old school, new school.
Yeah.
Old school, they were married from 18 to 97.
Right.
It's more new school to like, oh, this isn't working, let's just divorce.
Yeah. Let's call it quits.
Yeah. So it's really a transition in society of now you have this generation of children, of divorced children. And the old people, they didn't have that. So, yeah.
We talked about that. We hit on that a little bit on one of the episodes. We had a discussion. I think it was was it a words of wisdom or a slice of advice?
I think it was a slice of advice.
Where, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Can you say it?
Where the I saw a reel on TikTok about this gentleman explaining why the older generation have lasted for so long, and it was because they got married so early in life, and the wife actually it was almost like a grooming. So the wife had no independence, she had to be home with the kids, and as they got older and older and older, that's all they knew. That's why there hasn't been so many, like some grandparents been together for 80 something years. It's because at the end of the day, that's all the wife knew and that's all the husband knew. They get married at 15 and 16 years old. They're still children.
Right.
They're relying and depending on each other. So they get to the point that they almost groom each other to be what they need to be. And then by the time they get to a certain age where they can make that decision, they're so reliant on each other that this is all we know. So that's why they stay for so long. It's not love. It's not just love. It's this is who my person is. This is who pays the bills. This is who takes care of me. This is, you know, he was saying that's why some older parents, like the grandparents, have been married for 80 some years.
But there was roles back then, like I said before. You depended on one another. The man depended on the woman for the house. The woman depended on the man for the money. Now you have this intermingling of, I'm my own person, bitch, I don't need you. I can do this by my damn self. So it's way easier for people to leave, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's no dependence. Like I tell my buddies, I know how to turn on the washer. The dryer goes for 70 minutes. The microwave goes up to 5 minutes, and I can sit on my left hand if my right hand gets tired. Like, what the fuck I need you for? I'm just saying.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just saying.
That's
It's
the
a mentality.
That's the mentality.
It's
yeah.
a mentality. Like, I don't need you. I want you. Blah, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And it leads to friction, I think.
Yeah. So this is a side question. This is kind of a side note. Do you feel I've said this before on the podcast that I feel like social media has kind of instilled this mentality that you're describing.
Yeah.
Both on men and women. Mm-hmm. And do you feel like that kind of is true? Like that's why
I think social media is the worst thing to happen ever.
Like hyperdependence, right? It's
ever.
created this hyperdependence.
It is the worst thing ever.
Or hyper-independence. Sorry. Independence.
It's instant gratification. She's mad at me. I can go on Facebook and find some broad that ain't mad at me in 10 seconds. And you create this fantasy world in your mind of everything's sweet here, but everything's toxic here. It's like, all I do is fight, but over here on this phone, all I do is sweet nothings. And I think it's the worst.
It is.
It's the worst. It just... Cheating has... skyrocketed because and most people wouldn't call it cheating, but I do.
I do too.
I mean, if you have conversations,
it's emotional cheating.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
It's an emotional affair.
But it's way too easy. It's too damn easy, and you can put shirtless pics and makeup pics and get comments and feel instant gratification and good about yourself and. You're like, well, my man never says this to me. Like, he never pays me no attention. But I got 40 dudes that'll instantly, oh my God, gorgeous, beautiful, da, 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 da. It leads to a whole bunch of, instead of working on the relationship, I think people just like, well, boop.
And on yourself. Because if you need external validation and if you can all of a sudden feel like you're wanted and needed or loved because you've got 1,000 likes on your photo that you posted on Facebook or Instagram. It's not, they don't even know you. They don't know you. Why is that more important than your partner that's,
I think that's probably why.
Living life with you. I mean,
It's because they don't know you.
They don't know the real you.
Right.
And your partner right next to you does.
Right.
He's the one that, or she's the one that sees you every single day and sees not just your external, but sees here and sees here. And obviously there's a problem. And there's toxicity there. I mean, obviously there's a problem with each of you individually, but when you are seeking out external validation because you don't want to face the mirror that he's providing or that she's providing, that means there's definitely the problem is you.
when you go to fix breakfast and you reach in the fridge and you grab an egg and you on your way to the stove with it and you drop it, is it easier to go get another egg or is it easier to clean that egg up?
Get another egg.
It's easier to get another egg. Because that's messy. It's messy. You got to get paper towels. You got to, and just grab another egg. Well, and that's what I feel like that is.
Yeah.
You just, whoop, shit. Well, I just grab another egg. And there's an endless supply of eggs.
Yeah.
And you leave the mess on the floor.
Exactly.
What I was going to say,
and
though, eventually you have to come back to the mess. Though.
Yeah.
You can't just leave it there because it gets crusty and gross. Might attract bugs, But you eventually have to fucking pick it up. That means you eventually have to look at yourself in the mirror and actually see what needs to be fixed inside within you. Because we are the only people that we can control ourselves. We can't control our partner. We can't control external people. I tell my son, I call them NPCs. What do they call? Non-player characters. Yeah, NPCs. I'm like, you can't control those NPCs. Just leave them be. They don't love you. Then all they're seeing is a picture. It's literally a snapshot of who you are. And it's not even...
Well, why wouldn't somebody like you if the only thing they see are the best parts about you?
Exactly.
That's
what I'm saying. It's just a snapshot.
Yeah.
Just a little side in between note there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say, oh, well, my boyfriend didn't say that, or my girlfriend didn't say that, my husband didn't say that. I think sometimes people don't listen, or they express that value they have of you in a different way.
Yeah.
It's not words. Maybe it's service, maybe it's a gift, maybe it's something different because their love language is not the same as yours. So not everyone lives on affirmations. And some people aren't comfortable enough to, because they never received it in their lives, so they don't understand what it is to give affirmations to other people, you know.
Right.
Unless they're fucking love bombing them.
And we go back to communication, though.
Yeah.
You have to communicate all
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Because nobody can read minds. I'm sorry.
No.
We can't read minds. So.
Communication is key.
Alrighty, so we are now going to move on to the next one, which is a little heavy as well. We're talking about separation, divorce / widow, because we know that she lost her husband. How do you deal with it? Separation, divorce, or being a widow?
Let's start off with Kevin.
You started off, sir.
So we don't. That's an easy question there, boy.
Don't
Pow,
do
pow.
it. Push it down.
Right.
Let it come up later.
Right. That's
Really?
an honest answer, yeah.
Yeah?
Like okay, let's put it this way. So our friend group.
Uh-huh.
If any of our friend groups split right now, how do you think the men would handle it? They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. They would just
They
kinda,
wouldn't.
They just carry on.
They carry on.
They'd be like, let's look that
Yeah.
way.
We
Yeah.
see and hear nothing.
Yeah.
That's the difference in men and women.
But let's be real, though. Men do have feelings.
Oh no, we definitely do.
I like that you said, though, that men kind of just push their feelings down, but that doesn't mean that they don't have feelings about it,
For
though,
sure.
right? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
They do feel stuff.
But what are we gonna do? Get in a group of 10 men and be like, dude, I'm sad.
Kumbaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Y'all have no problem doing that.
it might help.
Yeah.
It might help to go.
I'm
shoot
out
the shit in
drinking
the woods.
beers with a guy friend. I'm like, dude, I'm sad. Me and the old lady are having problems. He's like, okay. You
Yeah.
want barbecue or lemon pepper? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
I think our friend group, they're a little bit more compassionate to that.
What happens in the woods stays in the woods.
But I'm sure you guys have deeper conversations than you would say at a bar.
Oh,
over,
for sure.
Over wings
Yeah.
and lemon pepper, you know, like.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation on a previous episode. Men have always been seen in that way where they have to be the strong person. They
Yeah.
have to be the provider. They have to be the protector. They have to be the.
What comes from your daddy?
We put all of that on men. I think it comes from way back.
It does. That's
I come from a generation where my grandma chewed tobacco on the front porch in a rocking chair, and she'd tell you exactly where you were messing up in life.
Yeah.
And you think, man, wonder what it'd be like to have you as a mother. Well, that was my daddy. You know, and
Yeah.
my daddy, he's the same way.
Yeah.
You gonna cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
So then when you get with a woman and you feel emotional, what do? You get angry.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're with a bunch of guys, you think it all reverts back to the way you were raised.
Yeah.
Everything reverts back to the way you're raised. And I was raised that way.
Don't cry unless you have something to cry about.
If
Yeah.
you're a man and you cry, boy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get out of here. Pack your stuff. You ain't worth the family name. You don't have a generation of men who are sympathetic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I'm a father myself, so
Yeah.
in turn, it's repetitive.
It is until you break that cycle, right?
Yeah,
So,
but
okay.
it's weird how you can have a daughter
Yeah.
and feel one way towards your daughter, and then when it's such a
It's so different.
it's so different.
But it's like that for mothers too. It is like that for mothers too. I had a son and 2 daughters. So with my son, I do expect him, and I don't know where it came from because I am a woman. I grew up, with me and my grandfather's princess because I didn't grow up with my biological father, but I was my grandfather's princess. I was treated that way. I was treated like a princess. So this is how I expect men to treat me, like a princess, because that's how my grandpa raised me.
Did I tell you something Jeff Foxworthy said?
Yeah.
He said that this is women's problem. That
Yeah.
they grow up their entire life and everybody around them, you're a princess. You're a princess. You're a princess. And he said, well, I get you're a princess, but you didn't understand you're married to a prince. And he liked a blowjob every now and then.
Lucky for my prince, whoever he is. I like to give blowjobs.
404-628. So I don't want to have to keep tying her up and duct taping a tree in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night. Don't worry, I've only done that twice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
I mean, I grew up old school country. I mean, the belt god and you know, just old school country.
Yeah.
And if I had a bad day or was feeling sad or whatever, you think I ever once went to my daddy? Not once did I be like, I'm feeling. She knows me and my grandfather had the best relationship. He'd bring a whole truckload of corn to the house, and we'd sit on the tailgate and shuck corn and just talk. And it made me feel normal.
I was going to say, though, that kind of upbringing, and then also the whole, it's okay, like, you can be vulnerable with me, you can cry, you can, I'm going to be here with you. I'll cry with you, like that you get, like, from a woman, that softness that you get from a woman. There's a fine line there, because even though the woman is going to be there for you on your vulnerable side, she's still going to look to you to be that protector and that, like,
Strength,
guy and the strength. And her rock. Basically, right? Like, her protector, her provider, her everything, her support system, her soft space to land, you know?
It contributes to it. As a man, you feel like you have to be everything
to everybody.
You ain't got time to be emotional. Yeah. And if you show emotion, then the other parts you're supposed to be the strong one in are going to be perceived as you're not as strong as you need to be, you know?
Makes sense.
When it comes time to protect you, are you going to remember that time I was in tears and a ball on the floor crying because you know? Well,
let me tell you, and you make a strong point there, because with my ex-husband, I was his soft space, you know, his soft place to land. He could cry with me, and he did, not very often, but he did. A lot of stuff he kept inside, but I saw that man break down. I saw him cry and get emotional during certain things when his mother got sick and when she passed away. However, that didn't change my perception of him as far as the strength that he provided for our family and everything. Him being vulnerable with me and letting himself be that way with me actually allowed me to see deeper into his soul, if that makes any sense.
Have a better understanding of things.
Right. But to me, it didn't diminish the strength that I saw in him. So, I mean, there's something to say for that, but also that comes with respect, you know, within the relationship.
Maturity and love.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, if you make a slight comment or a off the wall, roundabout comment when a man's being emotional in front of you, it'd be the last time.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, is that you have to be with somebody who...
Well, that's my point with Joe, though, is...
like, who's mature enough to be that soft space for you. And when we say that's what we need to be, is that soft place for a man to land, you are safe here. You can put the freaking guards down. You don't have to be Mr. Tough Guy. You can be that here in this space, but we're not going to use it against you later on. Now, if you're in a toxic relationship, though, the woman might use it against you. She might say, blah, 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 to break you down. That's a toxic relationship. You're dealing with a narcissist at that point, because she's letting you be vulnerable, but then she's going to use it against you. She's going to use your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities against you later on in an argument when she's pissed off or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. You're not going unscathed here. Please let us know. How do you deal with being divorced, or in your case, being widowed?
Well, my circumstance was a little different, because when he was ill, we had separated because of a lot of stuff that was happening in our marriage. And but when we separated, he was already in another relationship, and then he got ill. Then obviously he passed away, and that's when I was the wife again. I was responsible for everything that was needed to be done and all that. So I was already grieving my marriage. Then I started grieving him. I was grieving for my children too, because it was devastating to my sons. And then I had to start grieving his family. It was just a roller coaster of emotions. One day it was pain, one day it was hate, one day it was anger. I was grieving all these things all at once. It was a very difficult time, just trying to be there for my kids, at the same time trying to process everything that I needed to process for them to be okay and be healthy and know that I was there for them. Mm-hmm. So that year was a nightmare. For sure. With all the different emotions, it was a battle. Yeah. So that's when I made the decision that it was time for me to leave New Jersey, like completely out of state, and start a new life somewhere else, because there was too much pain there. I felt like I was suffocating. So I had to make that change. I just had to learn to be kind to myself and give myself grace, because these were things that, I didn't sign up for. Mm-hmm. And the struggle of raising a child by yourself. My oldest son was in the military, so he was away. So once again, I was a single mom. Yeah. I started off as a single mom and, ended as a single mom. So it was a lot. But the one thing I didn't do that a lot of people do is try to replace them immediately. Because I didn't want to deal with all the emotions of everything.
So that leads me into the next little subtopic. When is the right time to date again and introduce them to your children? So can you continue on that thought process? So she knows I asked the hard question.
So for me, it was like a limbo of things. When I got to Georgia, we were here for maybe 6 months, and then I decided to open the door of dating. It was a bigger nightmare. I'm like, oh, Southern boys, so much better, different state, manners, different people,
courtesy, yeah, chivalry.
So I dated some, but then I just started getting to the point that I was just done with it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, dating is not easy, especially in our ages. In the 40s, you would think that people our age would have their shit together and be able to process feelings correctly, know what it is they want. Yeah,
no.
Remember what I told you. Men do not worry about emotional stability until they are financially stable.
You said that.
I promise.
It was back in our season 1 episode. I remember that. Yeah.
We are concerned about financial stability over everything else. Period, point blank, simple.
But a plot twist to that. In the 40s and in your 50s, men in those ages are financially stable, most, but they want the woman they're dating to be financially stable.
Yeah.
They want them to have jobs. They want them to have their own homes. They want proof that they're as stable as they are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, oh yeah.
I can attest to that.
Really?
You're still in your 30s. He's in his 30s, ladies and gentlemen. still in your 30s, but when you get there, you'll see. I mean,
it took 20 minutes.
No, but you will definitely see when you get to that point in your life, and hopefully we're still together at that, When I came here, I took a year off to focus on putting my house together. There was a lot of work. When I was dating, they were like, so what do you do for a career? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything right now. I have to focus on my home. I have to put my home together. But oh my gosh, they didn't want to hear that shit. As soon as they knew that I didn't have a job.
Because in their mind, they had to take care of somebody.
Yeah.
Now. And that's the thing I was going to say, to piggyback off of what you were saying about 40s and 50s. I feel like at that point, they're divorced. Mm-hmm. They've been married since they were in their 20s, taking care of their family, taking care of this woman. Now they're divorced. They don't want to take care of anybody. And you're a career woman. I am a career woman. We set ourselves up to be independent, but we still want, if something should happen to me tomorrow, I want to make sure that I'm with a partner who can take care of me, and vice versa. I'm not saying everything has to fall on the man, but that's how we're raised. We want a man to, like you said, play the role, right? This is your role, to be the provider, to be the protector, to be the supporter. And then we just add on to whatever it is that you've already established, then we add on to that.
Do you think that the man is less prone to do that because that's how he feels, or less prone to do that because of the prices and standard of living has changed?
I mean, I would say that has a lot to do with it. Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it has
Yeah.
a lot to do with all of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're finally coming out of something.
Because I have absolutely no problem with it. Like, if I could, I would 1,000% take on every single financial responsibility we have. I daydream about it.
Yeah.
But I can't. Because shit costs too much.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it didn't.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
true.
different world we're living in.
It's hard.
Houses are going up, cars are going up,
But
gas is going
I also
up.
feel though that the men who are in their 40s and 50s who have like gotten out of that, 18, 15, 20 year marriage relationship, they meet these new women, right? And they want them to be financially stable because, hey, you know what? I can't provide that for you. You know why? Because I'm still providing for the family I just left behind or
Yeah.
that left me
Child
behind.
support, alimony.
Well, that took a lot from us as men.
Yeah.
That took
I-
a lot
yeah.
from us as men.
I can totally understand that.
Because
Totally.
now you're dealing with an equal. Mm-hmm. And when you're dealing with an equal, what does she need you for? Mm-hmm. And that's what you hear a lot of times. We talked about it earlier in this podcast. Mm-hmm. What do I need you for? And think about it.
I can take care of my damn self.
You take care of yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I
And
do.
you're damn proud of it.
I am.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
We went from a stature in society of being the hard, the tough, the provider, the mission driven. We had a goal. Now you meet a woman, she makes $100,000 more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you're at a.
Yeah.
So now you have to come up with these character traits that you think
Yeah.
will fill that gap. Well, what happens if the character traits aren't on par? Like, you're dealing with so much more.
Do you think a relationship can thrive? And this is totally like a question that I would have like for our dating series. But since we have a male here, I'm going to ask it. Do you think a relationship would survive with that like inverted like salary cap or salary?
With a woman making more?
Yeah, but like you said, 100,000. That's a
Well, it'd be
huge
hard.
gap.
It'd be hard.
I mean, can you still feel like a man if you know that your woman is making that much more than you and she's contributing more to the household, to the family, to the life that you share together? You're still sharing it together, but she's contributing more?
You'd have to be a damn good,
Secure
emotionally
man.
stable person.
Yeah.
Would
I
you be a
mean-
stay-at-home dad if your partner made more
If you
money?
could afford it, boy, shit. Boy, I'd be a kid raising motherfucker, boy. yeah.
Which, that's kind of, yeah, you're kind of contradicting yourself
Yeah.
there a little bit. You
That's
know?
why I threw it in there.
Yeah. So you're working, but then you're willing to be a stay-at-home dad. Like, I mean,
But what you're missing is being a stay-at-home dad. I would be mission-driven. That's what
with
you're
the kids.
missing.
Yeah, with the kids. Yeah,
It's mission-driven.
Yeah,
We are
that makes sense.
mission-driven.
that makes sense.
It's unbalanced. The society has unbalanced us in a way.
Yeah.
And now when you have women that make way more than you do, or expect, let's say you're used to having the money to eat out twice a week. Mm-hmm. Then you run into a woman who goes out 5 times a week. Now you have to balance a budget, find a way to tell her like I can't afford to do this. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Is that there goes your masculinity out the fucking window? And then on top of that, you want to provide her a life where she doesn't have to work, and you can't even afford a hamburger on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I giggle, but it's true. It's like,
I've been doing this Financial Peace University with Dave Ramsey and stuff, trying to get financially capable to do exactly what I'm telling you I want to do. But
Yeah.
then you run into communication.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get to a point where you are vulnerable enough as a man to be like, I can't afford to do this?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to speak for both of us here because we're the same age group and we're cut from the same cloth, basically. If my man, I accept him as my leader. He's leading our family, even if it's just him and I, where he's saying, babe, We cannot. My thing is travel. I want to be able to like afford the luxury of not worrying, so that you know what, if I want to leave for a month, I can leave for a month. Me having the confidence in him to be able to lead me. If he were to come to me and sit me down and say, Yvette, we cannot go to Italy this month. We're going to have to put it off for a year. We can't do XYZ. We're going to have to eat at home for the next 2 months. We've got to make sure we pay all these, say we have debt, whatever it is. If he sits down and he explains to me the plan and his mentality and his thought process and his logic about everything, and I have the confidence in that man to lead me, I'm going to say, okay, babe, you know what? Okay. Just to get us back on track, get us to the point where we can pay off all these bills, but we're not actually spending on entertainment, on extracurricular. I am going to follow your lead because you sat me down and you explained everything and you showed me the numbers and you showed me this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to do. Your money's doing this and my money's doing that and da-da-da. This is the plan. And then at a year from now, I'm going to take you on a great trip. We're going to go out every single freaking night for the next 2 months after that. I am going to be 100% on board. Why? Because I am your partner and you came to me and confided in me and laid out the plan for me and involved me in the decision making. Basically, you're telling me what we're going to do, but at least you explained everything to me and I am going to be all for it. I'm going to be like, yes, babe. I'm not going to buy another handbag. I'm not going to buy some more shoes. We're just going to buy the groceries that we need to make dinner every night for that week. And we're not going to spend any extras. I'm on board. You're leading me in that direction because we have a plan. Mm-hmm. We have an end goal.
When you bring it to the point of women are of equal value, where do you feel like in the equalness, if you have 5 bullet points of emotional stability, financial stability, blah, 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 where do you feel like there's give and take? Because in a man's mind, that's the only area.
Is the financial
part?
Is the
financial.
Yeah.
Women are always emotionally more stable.
Yeah.
They're always more put together. They're always... I'm speaking as in...
In general.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it.
And to be quite frank, when you get with a woman who's worse than you in finances, it's way easier.
What do we say?
It is way easier to manipulate and to... You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Because they look at you just the way you were describing.
Because you're the boss.
Right.
Yeah. And I will tell you, with a financially and emotionally stable woman, you will get the same, I will follow you, even if you're making $50,000 less than me, and my money is contributing more to the, okay, this is what we got to do. And that's why I said, your money is doing this, my money is doing this. I'm going to follow you if you are treating me as a partner. If you're treating me as and I don't want to say an equal because I want you to be here. Mm-hmm. That's just me. Yeah. I am a traditional woman, so I want my man to be here. I don't want to be here. And I really kind of don't even want to be here. I want to be here.
You just said
my
point exactly.
Yeah. Even if I'm making more money than he is, I consider him still here because his goals are making sense to me. His goals about us, like his goals with me involved. And I think that's the biggest thing is we have to be in partnership with everything that's going on.
That's the key word.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Joe?
No, it is. You have to be you have to have that trust in your partner because me too. I am very traditional. I'd rather have him lead us because I've led for so long. I'd rather him lead us and say, hey, this is our game plan and take that initiative and then us figure out how we're going to get to where we want to get to.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I feel like he looks to me to be that. I look to him to be that. So,
I've been in your position till I met you.
So it's
I've led,
and since I've been by myself, I've always been the one to lead, and I don't want to lead. I want a partner that we can move forward together. We're evenly yoked in that aspect of understanding and everything. So yeah, partnership is key. We're both grateful for what we can do for each other
and together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's pressure for me, but it's a good kind of pressure. I mean, in the past 3 years, I've furthered my career more than I have in a decade. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it's from the partnership. I mean, realizing that you're worth more, it's hard to explain.
It's not really, because I totally understand. And I feel like our audience members will totally understand as well, because most women are at that point where we're ready to let you lead. By you, I mean men in general. We're ready to let you lead, but we're also prepared, because we are independent. We're prepared to also help. We want you to lead. We want you to be the provider. We want you to be the protector. We want you to be the support system. We want you to take the lead in our relationship, in our lives, in our 5-10 year plan goal. We want all of that, but we're also ready and willing, most of us, most women, because not all women are created equal, I will say that. But most women, regardless the age, they're ready to be that support system for you too. We'll let you, but we're going to help you too. We're still going to be right here underneath you, like, okay, we got you. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's really basically the fundamentals of a good, long-lasting relationship, is really letting the man be the man and the woman be the woman.
So just remember, ladies, behind every strong king, there was always a strong queen.
Amen. Amen, sister. Amen. Okay, so now I have our slice of advice for today. Here we go. All right. Yeah. Sometimes God will allow you to burn the bridges in your life because he wants to make sure you don't ever cross those bridges again, because he heard the conversations behind your back when you weren't around.
Boy, I needed that one. Let me just say.
Yeah. In other words, don't fucking overthink. When you have to let go, let the fuck go.
Well, the devil need to quit putting boards back up there on there.
I mean, seriously.
Shit.
Making that bridge walkable again. Don't walk over it, though, honestly.
When people show you their colors, they show you their colors, bro.
Believe them. Believe them the first time.
Kevin Gates says, when somebody paints you a picture, don't let them paint you another one.
That's true. That's true.
Shout out to my boy Gates.
Who's in the middle of a divorce.
Bing! Bing! Okay, wow, okay.
Just because he's a manhood, don't mean he ain't gay.
Told me he don't have wisdom.
Right.
Cheers, Kevin. I listen to your music
Cheers,
too all
Kevin
the time.
Gates. Yes, cheers. All right. Now we are moving on to our next little subtopic. Cheating. Okay, so cheating is a character flaw and not something wrong with the relationship.
I agree. I agree with that statement, actually.
Yep, it's a character flaw. All right, we're gonna play it. Maybe not now.
Like, instead of lacking in the relationship, something lacking in the relationship,
Ooh,
something
I love
lacks
her.
within them. Yep.
I love this
We do
tune.
have to understand that sometimes people just make excuses for unexcusable behavior.
Damn.
Many times it is a problem within themselves. Okay, whether that lies in the fear, whether it lies in just pure selfish behavior, whether you just do things because you want to have fun, you want to try something different, whether you are trying to relive your teenage years, or whether you're trying to relive something that you weren't able to do. And sometimes what people tend to do is they cheat and they like to point the finger at the other person. No, you need to point the finger at yourself. You made a selfish decision, because when you enter that relationship with that person, when you two agreed to have a relationship, a monogamous relationship, you two agreed to be committed to one another. That means that all bets when it comes to cheating were off the table. So if you decided that you want to do something like that, point the finger at yourself and don't point at anybody else.
Woo!
She's
What do you
fucking
guys
solid.
think about that?
You'll see
Because
her reels come up on our Chats con Sabor because I listen to her all the time.
when I saw that, I was like, damn, preach, sister, because most people, and I will say most women, I feel like men don't look for an excuse to cheat, but women sure as fuck do. We sure do. We need we need a validation. We need, oh yeah, we were right to do this because he the list is long, right? He did
Lack
or
of.
didn't do, lack of or did all these things, and so we're validated in cheating because of this. So I feel like this is more on the women's side. The men, I feel like men are a little bit more simplistic. It's like, oh, she fine. And we're stupid, so we go. But women, like, I feel like come up with this long list of like excuses. What do you think, Joe?
I agree and disagree to a certain extent because I think as much as men push things down, they also look for an emotional connection to someone in a certain way because of the lack of that they're getting at home.
Okay.
May it be someone who's constantly nagging. May it be someone that is mentally abusive, emotionally abusive. They always have reason on why they did what they did. My circumstances were different because when my ex did what he did it because it was a game to him. To our circle and families, it was like, she's fantastic, she's amazing, but 6 months later, he's in a whole nother thing. It didn't matter. It was the rush for him more than the emotional aspect of anything. I think there's, from a lot of people that I know and friendships that I've had, it was always something emotional with the man. There was something he was lacking in his marriage, whether it was understanding, whether it was connection. That was an emotional thing, not a physical thing. So I think, it's not just a woman thing. I think it's a man thing too, to a certain extent, that there's something they're lacking, because if a man is loyal. When he's in love and this is his family and this is what he wants to do, that's what he's going to do. Why? Because he's a leader. But as soon as a woman starts cutting him at his knees or not supporting him or constantly being on top of him about the things that he didn't do, XYZ.
Taking his man card.
Yeah. He's not going to be focused on you anymore.
Right.
So there's going to be some other broad that's going to come in to the mix and fill that void that his wife, his girlfriend, his lover, whatever it may be, is lacking in.
Right.
And I've always said it in all of our podcasts. Before you get to that point, just end whatever you need to end, because it's just not worth it. The pain is not worth it afterwards. That's just my opinion, because I experienced what I experienced in my 15-year marriage, So
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think?
I think every man should experience falling deeply, deeply, deeply in love about 21 years old and be cheated on.
Okay.
Because they never do it.
So do you think cheaters are created or groomed? Versus that's just something that they do, or maybe it's in their environment. Maybe they saw their daddies do it or their mamas do it.
Yeah, I don't know why women do what they do, but I think y'all are probably 50% right. I think a lot of it is exactly what you said. She's fine. I'm drunk. Fuck it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And then I've had friends where it's like, it's a condition. He cannot help it. There's some men that are so charismatic that women are drawn to them, and they are so addicted to that that they cannot let go of it. They're so not happy with their self that validation is everything. I've been through it. I mean, the woman I had kids with, she did this to me, and I sympathize with women because I was not expecting it. It was something I never thought would happen, or everything was just beautiful.
Blindsided you, basically.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it still affects me to this day to sit here and talk about it. And that's why I say it. I think everybody should go through it. Because once you've been through it and experienced what it's like to be done to you, I don't think you'll ever do it to anybody. I could be wrong, but
No, I feel like you're right.
let me tell you a story time. I haven't done a story time in a long time.
Story time with Miss Joanna. We haven't done a story time with Miss Joanna in a long time.
So after my ex had passed away and all that, may he rest in peace, because still to this day I very much respect him because he's the father of my kids. I had a conversation with his partner. We went to lunch one day. He's like, I want to sit down. I want to talk to you. And I said, okay, sure, why not? We were sitting there having a conversation, and he says to me...
His partner, like police partner.
Yes.
Sorry.
He was like...
I was thinking...
But anyways, he said, I thought y'all had an understanding. I said, an understanding? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, you stepped out on him. First of all, I am as loyal as they come. I will not give you my back until it is said and done. You have done what you've done to me, that's it. And I looked at him, I was really puzzled and I'm like, what are you talking about? I never stepped out on him. So then I started thinking back, and I remembered a conversation I had with him after he had a relationship with one of my friends. And I told him that there was a point in time where things were so rocky because of the fact that he was having another relationship with somebody else, that I developed a connection with someone else via phone. Myself and this gentleman went to lunch, and we talked and talked, and then it hit me. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm doing the same thing he just did to me.
Yeah.
So him and I parted ways, and I started thinking, my God.
He used that as an excuse.
He used that as an excuse.
Yeah.
When I was being vulnerable with him, he used as an excuse of him going to be able to do whatever he wanted. So when people were questioning him, well, aren't you married? He was saying, oh no, we have an understanding. Obviously he got caught, and then he was trying to play back. He asked me the question, haven't you ever felt a connection with somebody else? And that's when I opened up about this person. All my children, nothing ever happened. He took that and ran with that. He had done things prior to this even happening.
Wow.
I had found phone calls, I had found text messages, emails, people claiming that they were having his child. Like I had found a lot of stuff.
Wow.
It was a lot of stuff that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And then this person just happened to come during that time. So it was like this awakening of everyone was looking at me. Oh, well, you're okay with this, right?
She's okay with it.
When, hell no. I'm married for sickness and in health. I'm married. I am here. I am your wife. I am the mother of your children. This is who I am. And could I have gone there? Yeah, but that was the last thing on my brain. I was getting from this person what I needed from him, was the emotional aspect of everything, you know? So that was my story time. And I knew that people were going to be pissed about that, but I don't give a fuck, because that's the truth. Don't fucking cheat, people. Just don't cheat.
Going back to what you said, like, everybody needs to fucking go through it so that you know how it feels to be betrayed, to be cheated on. Yeah. And fucking don't do it.
My experience was...
I was going to ask you. That was my question.
We tried to get pregnant for a long time. And she got pregnant and ended up miscarrying. And then cheated and got pregnant.
With the other person?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is bad.
Yeah. So, I'm with Joe. I'd rather you just be like, yo, this is not working.
Exactly. Everybody has, like she
I
said,
can handle
everybody
that.
has options.
I can handle that. You go fucking somebody or cheating on somebody, it's so much emotional. Dude, just tell me.
It's traumatic. People don't understand that it is a trauma. It is a trauma that some people take with them to the next relationship. We're human, and not everyone knows how to process things. Not everyone goes to therapy. Not everyone talks to people. Some people just keep it bottled in. Then you go and you find someone that's good, that wants you, that loves you, that wants to be there for you, and you will never be able to produce that that genuine love because you're so damaged
And
then
guarded.
And then you bring that into another relationship, and then you're doing the same thing that was done to you, you're doing it to that other person who's innocent in what you went through.
We have said that on this podcast over and over and over again. Make sure you heal the trauma from your past relationships, because the new relationship does not deserve to go through that pain and that trauma and have that guarded person, because they didn't do that to you. They did not do the damage to you, but yet you're holding on to that past trauma and bringing it into your future
Men don't
relationships.
do that though. That's why they cheat. They want to have a one foot on the other lily pad before they know this one's gonna sink.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. We've talked about that too.
Because when you're in between
Fight or flight.
when you're in between lily pads, you got to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do that.
It's hard. Should your spouse have full access to your social media, emails, etc.? Like
Hell
everything.
no.
Or should there be some level of privacy and respect
Hell yeah.
long as the trust has not been broken?
Hell no, they shouldn't have access to everything.
Okay. Expound on that, please.
But where's the trust?
Assuming the trust has not been broken, where is the trust?
Been right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm laughing at his face. His facial expression.
I mean, that's how I feel about it. Shit.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Hell no.
True. Like, you should have trust within your
You're damn
partner
right.
until the
You're
trust is
damn
broken.
right.
Until the
You're
trust is
damn
broken,
right.
right? Yeah, okay.
And why should she have to pay for past? She ain't done nothing. What the hell am I going to snoop through her shit for?
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about
Yeah.
that?
No, I mean, I agree. I really don't go through any of his stuff. His stuff is his stuff. My stuff is my stuff.
I'll tell you right now. Look here. No password. No password. And I believed it, and I will believe in it till I'm dead.
Yeah.
Find a man without a passcode.
Yeah.
I challenge you.
They're few and far between, yeah.
Because they're on Facebook Messenger talking to some hoe.
No.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm not going to say. So let's be clear. Let's be clear, honey. I mean, there's people that'll come up on people you may know because they're friends with Kevin, or they're friends with Yvette, and it's a female, and I'll sit there and I'll look. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look, and I'll ask them 1 second. I'll be like, "Who's so and so?" Oh, she's blah blah. Okay, never bring it up again, and then I move on. You know, so I'm not gonna say that I don't do
which
that.
is a valid point, may I interject, of the younger version of me used to get upset
Of what?
of her asking that.
Oh, okay.
Because I felt like it was an attack. Like,
yeah. Like, why are
are
you
you
asking
talking
this?
to
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah, yeah.
Which I no longer, I just explain it. Destiny, that girl I served with in the Marine Corps, is like one of my best friends. So who is Destiny? And I could tell by her facial expression.
All I said is, "Who's Destiny?"
Bullshit.
She just sent a message on his phone and popped
Who
up.
the fuck is this? No, it
Z.
ain't.
It was a Z.
But I'll tell you, my
It's
first
Destiny.
inclination is like, she's a fucking friend. What's your problem?
But she doesn't know that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, if I saw Dave pop up, I'd be like, yo, who the fuck is Dave? So I feel, it's understanding.
Yeah.
It's understanding. And now I don't. When you have nothing to hide, you don't feel the need to explain yourself. That's who it is.
And
Right,
it was
you wanna see
okay,
it?
and that ship sailed.
Right.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I just asked the question, he answers it, and I trust him wholeheartedly. And we'll go through conversations if we have to on if something pops up on his phone, and if something pops up, he'll be like, or because we have our podcast and stuff comes up on our podcast, he'll be like, "Who's so and so?" I'll be like, "Oh, that's this person." Who's if there's comments on YouTube, I'm like, usually Vet responds to those. Like I
Which
don't
we've
respond.
been through.
Yeah. So, I am very open and very clear with him when stuff does happen. To me, it's like, who gives a shit? Because I'm not involved. I'm not looking. I don't care.
This is where I am.
I am
right here.
so matter of fact
Yeah.
about things
Yeah.
sometimes, and he's not.
You can't want us to be protective and then judge us for how we're protective.
Well, that's a great point. That is a great point.
This is
That's a
how I'm
fantastic
protective.
point. And we
Piss on this pillar.
Yeah.
Don't piss on this pillar.
This is mine. I'm
This
marking
is
my
my
territory.
pillar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's our protective nature. Don't talk to her. Don't look at her.
Yeah,
Don't ask her questions.
don't.
You don't
Just
need to know
don't.
shit about her.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Okay, we're gonna take this moment to kind of switch to our what the fuck moment, and Miss Joanna has that today. Which
Yvette's not happy about this. but-
I'm not happy about this because she kind of told me what it's about, and I'm like, yeah.
So, and if my sister watches, she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" But I love you. So, one of my favorite holidays is Halloween, and not a lot of people are gonna love this about me. So I'm just saying,
Me. I'm
I love ghost stuff, and I love like 48 hours. I love all that stuff. Yvette always gives me a lecture about this. So, anywho.
I always tell her, be careful what you're feeding your brain.
So, my what the fuck moment is, I'm going to summarize it and I'm going to let you hear the real. So, there was a girl who had an imaginary friend. Well, the imaginary friend was not so imaginary.
Story time on how I found out that my imaginary friend at 5 years old was real. I don't know about y'all, but I had an imaginary friend when I was 5 years old. It was paranormal day, and I was having a team meeting with my team, and my team lead was like, let's share some stories. Does anybody have stories to share? I told them I had an imaginary friend when I was 5, and it was so real to me that my brother, my mom, my dad, my aunts, my family, they would catch me talking to my friend in my room or in car rides. This is where it gets freaky, and pay attention. First of all, there is a cemetery down the street from my childhood home. And my aunt, we'd have to pass the cemetery to get to her work. And we would go pick her up. Well, whenever we would leave the house, I would tell my mom, that's where my friend lives. That's where she told me she lives. And my mom's like, oh, really? And then I'm like, yeah. And I'm pointing at the cemetery. Mind you, I'm 5 years old. My mom, she's like stunned, right? She's like, what the hell? She's been talking to this imaginary friend for some time now. And now she's telling me that her friend lives in a cemetery. Okay? This imaginary friend was so serious for me. At the time, my whole neighborhood would kind of play together. All the kids would come to my house and play with me because I had a little playground. And after a while, they started getting freaked out because I would say, oh, don't forget to push my friend Lisa, or oh, don't forget to go tag my friend Lisa. And they were just like, Jasmine, I'll be back. I gotta go home real quick. Okay. Fast forward, right? So I'm telling my coworkers all this, right? And they're like, oh my God. We get off the call, and one of my coworkers messages me on Teams, and she says, hey, I'm curious. Did you ever go and look in the cemetery? I did that. I went to the directory of that cemetery, and I type in my imaginary friend's name. Long and behold, a little girl pops up with my imaginary friend's name. Okay, now this is how I linked it and confirmed it. So my grandma passed away in December of 2000. My friend Lisa, date of death is 3 months prior to my grandma passing away. I dug a little deeper because I was like, okay, she's there, but where is she? Right? Where my grandma's plot is, my imaginary friend, her plot is 3 blocks down from my grandma. And that just stunned the heck out of me because she had just been buried. She had just been buried when we went to my grandma's burial. So I'm like, oh my God, I must have stepped over her stone. I don't know where she attached herself to me. So I did more research. She was like 6 or 7 years old when she passed away. Put in my city, I put in the name just to see if I could find a story about her. I did, and it's a very sad story, and it's very unfortunate, and I felt really bad. I also did research about young children's spirits, and what I read, when children pass on, some of them are confused. They don't know what just happened to them. So their souls sometimes stay grounded. I was just so like, oh my God, like I had to tell somebody. So I called my husband. I told my husband. After I talked to my husband, I called my dad, because my dad is one of the persons that is very well aware of my imaginary friend. I'm running out of time. Go to part 2 to hear the rest of the story.
So in part 2, she continues, and the little girl was actually murdered. So it was a very sad story. And then she actually did more research, and then she never, the girl herself, the woman, because she, obviously she's older now, never visited her or anything like that, because she was afraid. She didn't want whatever was attached to her at one point to be attached to her. Again. And she said she would never, like, if her kids ever had that connection, she would never.
Okay, so as when we're children, I feel like we're more open to that, because we're not so
Spooked out, judge.
Exactly.
So many lists.
Exactly.
So many lists.
We don't have those like those walls up because of the fears and everything.
Yeah.
So as children, I feel like it's easier. I can see why she wouldn't want to go back.
I wouldn't go back either. I'd be like,
not as an adult.
be out, Cub Scout. Never again, girlfriend.
Has anything like that happened to you, Kevin? Any spooky stuff
Yeah.
that you would like to share with us?
You know, like.
Well, this one night I'm dead asleep.
It's gonna be a funny, or is this gonna be a joke?
No, it's the real deal.
Okay.
My wife wakes me up. She's bawling tears. Something in the house. And I'm like, what, 21? So I'm like, what? Shut up. Wakes me up again. Bawling tears. There's something in the house. Something in the house. I'm thinking like, oh my God. You know, I'm already like halfway through a divorce.
Yeah.
And wakes me up a third time. So I'm like, oh my God. He made noise at this point. And she's like, my mom says that we need to go around the house and say this Bible verse to rid evil spirits. This is why I'm leaving you. You're cuckoo, batshit, crazy person. So I'm like, whatever. You know, if it'll get you to shut up, I'll do it. Whatever. You know, Hominus Mominus coming up with you.
Yeah.
So we get up, and Dominic the Padre was having his ankles, you know, whatever it is. You know, So I'm thinking like, oh my God, you know. So we're walking through the house. She's got this Bible open. She's, you know, saying whatever she's saying. I'm behind her like, you know, this is the stupidest shit I've ever done in my life.
Oh my God.
We go through every room in the house, and we get to the main bathroom there. And as soon as my foot crosses the threshold between the bedroom and the bathroom, as soon as my foot crosses it, the light flicks on. And we've done every room but that one. As soon as my foot crosses, light flicks on. And I had a tear come down my cheek.
No.
Like, out of nowhere. I mean, like, this happens all in an instant. Like, my foot crosses, the light flicks on, and a tear falls. I'm like, couldn't explain it. Don't know why.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the house.
Is this when you lived on the Marine base?
Yeah. We fucking moved. I'll tell you that right now. We moved.
Oh my gosh!
my
Imagine what goes on those
Yeah.
bases and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've never believed. I've always been like, there it goes, you know. But that's the real deal. It scared. Like, it insta scared me
Oh.
that much because there was nobody else in the house. It was just me and her, and she was just, I mean, bawling in tears. Like, there's something here. There's something here. And I'm thinking she's stupid, you know. Like,
And that
I'm telling
happened.
you, my foot crossed it, and the light flicked on. Boop! And I'm the only one there. And then, pooh! And a tear coming down my cheek. I'll never forget it. It like insta scared me that bad that I just like cried. You want to hear a funny one?
Yeah.
So me and Aiden was camping one time.
Your son.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't remember, but he wanted something out of the car. So I told him to go get it. I'm in the tent, and he comes, I mean, hauling ass. And just the palest look, you know. He gets in there, there's wolves! There's wolves!
I told you.
And I'm like, what? He's like, there's wolves after me, there's wolves! And I'm like, the Marine in me is like, where they're at, I'll strangle them with my bare hands, And so, and then, but the
Meet
father,
caveman.
but the father in me is like, you wolves. What the fuck are you talking about, wolves? We're in the middle of the Chattahoochee National Forest. Ain't no wolves.
What you talking about? Yeah. What you talking about? Well, listen.
And he's like, I swear. And I get the flashlight and I'm pressing it against the thing and I'm looking, and all of a sudden I see one set of eyes, two set of eyes, and that's all I see. It's pitch black. We're in the middle of the woods, and I'm like, oh my God, there's fucking wolves. Shine the light on one and it would be perked up and the other one would be hunched down. I'm like, holy shit, dude, like he's for real. And so I'm like calculating in my mind, like, okay, I'm gonna get this one in a rear naked choke. I'm gonna kill this one with my thighs, like while I'm choking this one, And they keep getting closer and closer, and my mind's going 1,000 miles a minute. Like I gotta protect my son. We get like 10 feet from us, and the flashlight hits them, and it's two golden retrievers from the campsite next to us.
I told you it was gonna be a Kevinism.
And I'm like, dude,
Fucking wolves!
you will never live this down for the entire life. But I'm telling you, from father-son panic was real. For a good 15 seconds, there was 500-pound wolves in Chattahoochee National Forest about to eat us alive, okay?
Hey, I have heard a lot of stories in my research about the Chattahoochee. So.
Let me tell
And
you.
I work in Alaska. Like, I've seen wolves.
Wolves are real.
And
yeah,
so I
bears
see
are
some
real,
eyeballs checking me out like a damn T-bone steak. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's wolves. And
So, real quick before we go back, the Arlington Cemetery in Washington. When you're an empath, and I have been told by multiple people about being an empath, I had to text Yvette because I couldn't deal with the energy and what the sadness was consuming me, the cries, everything was consuming me. And I was like, Yvette, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can continue walking. Because I was feeling, it gives me the goosebumps now. I could feel the pain of everyone that was there, that was crying, that was feeling that they were there to see their parents, they were there to see their cousins, their brothers, their friends. I can feel every aspect of everyone's pain there. And I can't do it because I get emotionally sick. And she's experienced that with me. So I kept texting her and she's like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. It is probably one of the saddest but most beautiful places that you would ever go to.
Absolutely.
It was...
that was the first time I went back.
Yeah.
It was the most painful thing, seeing him and, my cousin there, and just their sadness and stuff, of course, just snowballed into everything else I was feeling there. But also on an event note, when she was talking, all that energy, when you're someone that can really feel people's pain, which is something I ran away from for a very long time, it just consumes you and you don't know what to do with it.
So I'm going to...
Topic for another time.
No,
another
but
episode.
I'm going to insert a little quick our moment when we were in Florida. We went to Florida. Went to Tampa, to St. Pete's, and we went to like a little, I guess like a town fair. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it
we
had all
call
the
it.
little
Like,
shops
the
and
little
everything,
shops
yeah.
stuff. And we were about to walk into a crystal shop. And me, being the spiritual person that I am, before we even walked in, I said my little protection prayer, I do believe in God, so I set my little protection prayer because I know about crystals and I know about the energies that they hold. And we walk in not knowing that it was going to affect Joanna in any kind of way, so I didn't prepare her. We walk in and all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, I feel dizzy. Oh my God, my stomach hurts. Oh my God, I feel like I'm going to vomit.
so
Like
nauseous.
she was nauseous. She was just like, and I'm like, okay, we got to get out of here. Let's go out. And then so we stopped, we were walking, and then she said, I feel so nauseous. I feel this, I feel that. I know you're not going to believe me, but I feel all these things. And I'm like, no, girl, I believe you. But this is why before I even stepped foot over the threshold of the doorway into the shop where all these crystals were, I could feel it, but it was almost like bouncing off of me. You know, the energies and everything were bouncing off of me, where she was absorbing. She was absorbing everything because she is a very strong empath. And then when we walked out of it, I told her, stop. I'm like, okay, I need you to close your eyes. This is what I need you to do. And she just kind of released everything in a moment. In a moment, she was feeling better. She was like, oh my God, I feel better. Crystals hold energy. They're not bad. When people say, oh my God, like she has a shrine.
It's a witchcraft
it's
thing.
witchcraft. Yeah. No, it's not that. It's that crystals hold energy, good or bad, doesn't matter. They just hold people's energy. And when you meet people, you can feel that energy from them. Well, crystals hold that energy. They're not good or bad. They just hold it. That's it. So when she was in there, she was absorbing everything, not protecting herself. And so I had to lead her and guide her. And I'm like, listen, I know what you're going through. Like, let's just stop. Because she was like, I feel dizzy. I feel like I'm going to faint. And I'm like, okay, let's stop. Close your eyes. Let's do this. And I walked her through it. And then she instantaneously felt better. And she was like, oh, I feel better. And I'm like,
It was horrible. It was the worst feeling I ever felt. When you go into places like that, make sure that
protect yourself.
You are protected.
Exactly.
And you might be like, holy crap, that's bullshit. But it's not when you're connected. And we're all energy beings. So everything that bounces off another person bounces onto you. And especially if you're sensitive in that aspect. So if a person is constantly angry, you're going to be angry. If a person's having a shitty day and they're constantly in your ear about it, you're going to have a shitty day. So just make sure that you're protected in any place, any cemetery, any church, anything that you're going into, make sure that you are divinely protected.
exactly.
And I believe in God wholeheartedly.
So do I. I just don't believe in organized religion.
I understand that because I wasn't expecting, I haven't been to Arlington since we buried him. But for sure, as soon as you walk through the gate, it's damn near audible.
Yeah.
The
You can
sad.
hear
If
you
you listen
feel it,
hard
you can-
enough.
You can hear the tears.
Yeah.
You can hear the screams. You can hear the cries. It was, I kept texting her the whole entire time we were walking.
She did, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It was just so overwhelming. But again, another episode for another time. Let's continue with relationships. Because we can talk about this forever.
Okay. All right. I have a reel that I came across, and it's the secret to a long-lasting relationship. And
Good sex.
No, this girl says the secret is never leave.
To never leave. That's the only way you can get
That's
30,
what my
40
grandmama
years.
said.
To never leave.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go through some things. And there's going to be a lot of things that I say, this is it. This is the non-negotiable. But if I really am in it to be in it forever, like from the beginning, before I meet a man, I'm saying when I commit, I'm just doing this forever. That means I'm signing up and forgiving you before you do any of the bullshit you may come with. And that's challenging, but that's what real commitment is. Commitment is I'm going to do what I said I was going to do no matter how I feel. That goes back to what? Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a nucleus to any healthy relationship. If I'm committing to you and you piss me off, I've committed to stay. So where am I going? Where am I going? Doesn't mean I can't take a break. Doesn't mean I can't take a pivot. I can't go to brunch. I can't meditate. Can I take a weekend of woosah? But that means I'm not leaving you. Because leaving you while you're in your emotion is the pit of abandonment. That's worse than me walking out and returning. I should be able to sit in this with you, upset or not upset, until our emotions do whatever they're going to do and we get back to baseline. Right. Because that is the epitome of deliverance. That's the epitome of commitment.
Yep.
That's my other words, deliverance.
Deliverance. Yep. So that is the thing. So what do you guys think about this? The secret to a long-lasting relationship is literally to never leave.
So a little tidbit about Kevin and I when we first started dating was his biggest thing was get up and leave. It was fight or flight. It got to the point that after a couple of times, we had a conversation. And I'll just summarize it real quick for you guys. But I told him, I said, I have never left you. You have always left me. And the reason why I said that to him, because I wanted that light bulb to go off on his head so he can see that he's not being abandoned. He's abandoning. So that was the biggest thing that I wanted him to understand, that when times get hard, I am here. When times get hard, I need you to be here. Maybe you need that separation for a little bit, whether it be on the couch, in the guest room, wherever, so you can process things and come back to it. And it helps you realize that, holy shit, that person isn't leaving me, you know?
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Mr. Kevin?
I think you got
Sorry.
a lot of bullet holes in me right now.
Bullet holes, wait.
Shots fired.
First, my
Oh,
cup is empty.
Sorry. Bartender.
Bartender, please.
No, I mean, nah. I mean, what can you say, you know?
Luna is done.
My parents walked out on me. System, I grew up in foster care for the other half. They walked out. The Marine Corps threw me away like trash. My marriage didn't work.
You're used to abandonment.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm almost prefer it. I'd rather you just say fuck off than I would you let's talk about it. Because let's talk about it is more painful. Like, I know how to live out of a suitcase for 3 months. I don't know how to talk about it. Yeah, that's.
Do you think that a lot of men, though, are in your position? Maybe not exactly,
100%.
but they'd rather walk out than to deal with it,
easier.
to face on, get on.
Easier.
Yeah, it is easier.
It's easier.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
It's the difference between men and women in this aspect.
I think a lot of military, police, practically almost everything that wears a uniform. I think a lot of people that are uniform bound or have some type of future, our military, our law enforcement have had some traumatic experience in their lifetime. I'm not saying all, I'm saying most. They have been abandoned. They have been dealt with like traumatic loss. And I truly believe that this is their way of coping with things, is with pushing people away.
It's
Yeah.
so much easier for me. Like, it almost is down
Because
to
you're
like a
used to it. It's
molecular
comfort.
level.
No, it's a comfort. It's a comfort.
Yeah,
It's-
it's a comfort.
it's-
It's
it's,
definitely a comfort. It's easier to let
yeah,
go of something
yeah.
than fight for it or
Right,
deal with it.
right.
It's not at a molecular level because we are not born that way.
Oh no, it was instilled for sure.
We are definitely
For
instilled
sure.
those fight or flight,
Yeah.
responses.
So I'm going to give you guys all a little namaste
Yeah.
because let me tell you, this week has been shit. And we're already hours into our podcast. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
This is a concept I have trouble with, though.
Believe them. And the reason why I tell you to believe them is because we're human and we always give people opportunities and chances to show that they are better than what they're showing you originally. Because everyone comes in with this facade so they can suck you in. And then when they suck you in and then you start realizing who they are, you're like, fuck that, I'm not about it. So I'm retrieving myself because I need my peace of mind. I need my safe place because that person's going to
So what's-
ruin me.
Now we are at our wow words of wisdom. Okay, so the words of wisdom are: next time you feel nervous about stepping outside your comfort zone, remind yourself, I fear because it's new, not because I can't do it. Keep going. That's your words of wisdom. Keep going. Keep going.
You know how those pregnant ladies put headphones in their bellies?
I did that.
Would she not be the perfect?
That's why I tell her to do
Yeah.
voiceover.
Voiceovers,
I did it though. I did it. Okay, so
Hey, you white fella out there, don't know shit about where you doing or where you going? Go get you one of them, boy.
one of them what?
One of them Latinos. Let me tell you, boy. I'll be walking around the house. ¿Dónde mis perros? Arroz con pollo. ¿Tienes hambre? I'm telling you, boy. I mean, oh, wee! Change your life.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Coming from the country boy.
Hey.
Ay.
You go to KFC, you say, hey, I want the dark meat. It's probably you. You probably don't talk to. You just don't know. Yeah. I want that extra crispy dark meat. You know?
I'll take the legs and I'll take the thighs. Big thighs. I got the big thighs. Ay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Chats con Sabor. And thank you, Kevin, for being our special guest today. Love you guys. Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Bye.